What's going on, guys? It's KJ here. I have something very special for you today. I have my friend Griff here, who is printing with copywriting, and we're going to show you exactly what he did step by step to go from complete noob, completely clueless, to now making 4K a month. We're going to show you every single message that he sent to land his client, like all of it, and also show you the real, honest transformation of what a copywriter goes through. No fake fluff, BS, exaggerated numbers. Like everything's going to be here in this video. So I appreciate you, Griff, for coming on. Thanks for being on the
Yeah,
channel,
dude.
man.
Thanks for having me. I'm very excited to be here. Long time watcher of you, man.
Yeah, man. So where are you at right now? Give me some backstory.
Yeah, so I mean, do you want me to go through? I can go through the whole backstory or just give you like my process. But I mean,
Just
right
tell me where you're at
now,
right now, or what happened this weekend. That's what I want to know.
okay, yeah. So big life changes. I'm working with a client, making money with copywriting, and I was finally able to move out of my childhood home into New York City. I'm in like a nice new apartment, all paid for by copywriting,
Yes.
which is like, I mean, if you told me that, whatever, 4, 6 months ago, I would have never believed it. So it's still surreal, just like waking up and looking at the city. I can't believe it.
Well, that view is like some Sam Ovens type view. That
It's
is
nice,
nice,
dude.
man.
I promise it, I'm not in like a penthouse or anything. Not yet, at least.
Oh yeah, man. Sick though. Sick. Well, yeah, bro. I just want to make this as valuable as possible for everybody watching and kind of show them what a honest transformation looks like. So, kind of tell me how you got into copywriting and how long ago that was.
Yeah, so I'd say my journey started back in like December, January. Sorry, I'm like all dark right now. I don't know if
Oh,
you're,
it's good.
the sun went away. But yeah, I started my journey back in like December. I was still working, like I graduated from college. I was working as a construction manager, and I hated it. I was waking up at like 4:30 a.m. I was going to work just
Mm.
working with people who had just given up on life and they just like had no motivation. And it was killing me. It was just like not what I wanted to do. So, as most people do, I think like I stumbled on Iman's videos just about like self-improvement, just trying to like figure out like take your life into your own hands. And then that eventually led me into copywriting. And I would say honestly, like I became aware of a lot of the other business models out there. But I've always been super skeptical about all this stuff. And I feel like I kind of saw through a lot of the flashy business models, like your drop shipping and some of your other ones that like they can work, but I just knew that it didn't seem as good as like the videos were making it out to be. So at some
Yeah.
point I stumbled on copywriting. And I couldn't really find anything wrong with it. I was like, this just seems, it makes sense. I'm like, it's marketing, it's fundamental skills that you can apply to any business. So yeah, I kind of started to look into it. I joined one program that didn't really work out, but I honestly feel like most people kind of have that experience. You get sucked into something that's a little more flashy than you'd like. But I kind of look at it as like a rite of passage, like
Oh
it is.
yeah.
Um, but then after that program, maybe like a month later, I didn't know what I was doing. But I stumbled on you. I started seeing your videos, like I'm sure a lot of the other people watching this are. And your authenticity um just was super evident in the videos. And I was like, this guy is just,
Thank you,
he
man.
makes sense. He's talking about real stuff. And I was like, I just had all of the confidence in the world that you would be able to teach me how to find success with this. So that was kind of how I got into the whole thing. And then it's been just a slow and steady race since then.
Yeah. So for you, it was more of wanting to escape just the drone of 9 to 5 in that job
Absolutely.
more than it was like Lambos.
Oh, absolutely. It was more, I'll always remember this. Like I said, I would wake up so freaking early, and I'd be riding the train into work, just like half asleep. It'd be pitch black. And I was reading this
Mhm.
book called The Alchemist. I don't know if you've heard it. It was like a
Yeah.
book that like people always tell you to read. And the whole point of the book is basically like your passion or your purpose in life should be to always pursue your purpose in life. And that just like
Mm.
it hit me so hard. And I was like, where I'm at right now with the job that I have is not allowing me to do that.
Mm.
So it's like I need to figure something else out. And that's kind of where I went on to this path of online entrepreneurship and everything.
Yeah. That's freaking sick, dude. It's so
Yeah,
sick.
it's been a fun ride so far.
Yeah, and I feel really the same as you. Copywriting was the thing that it just made sense.
Yeah,
Like it was fundamental. It's like if I learn copywriting, I can do dropshipping. I can do anything. I
exactly.
learn copy.
Exactly.
And that's why I was so sold on it. I was like, yep, let me just go all in because
Right.
it makes sense. And
Right.
yeah, and is copy just kind of a stepping stone for you, like to do future stuff? Or was it kind of like you feel like I'm gonna be a copywriter, like that's my thing?
Right. No, I think I definitely like I graduated with like an engineering degree. I've always been like a math science guy. So I honestly went into this whole thing never even thinking I was gonna like it. I was like, oh, like it's writing, like but I saw it as something that is so necessary to finding success.
Yeah,
And of course, now that I've learned it, I've started to really like it, and it's completely like changed my perspective on creative thinking and just being able to sit down and like you always talk about like you need to be able to like sit down, look at a wall and think of ideas, like it's just that
yeah,
we're all so like overstimulated on TikTok and everything. It's like you need to be able to come up with creative ideas and write and different things like that. But yeah, I mean, I think long term it's always going to have an impact on what I do,
yeah.
just because it's persuasion at its core. So it's like whether or
Mm,
not you're using that to make money or maybe make new friends or push whatever, do what like whatever you're trying to do in life, like the
yeah,
skill in general has just taught me so much. And it's like who knows where I'm gonna take it in the next few years, but it'll always stick with me for sure.
yeah. You're exactly right, dude. It's a cornerstone skill.
Yep.
And I see business owners who have run similar businesses to mine who don't have it. And I can tell that it's really hurting them. Like because they
Right.
don't understand psychology and they don't understand how to produce writing that actually compels action. It's tough. It's really hard to kind of man a business without being good at that. And so that's how it was for me. Is like I didn't even think I'd do this for a long time. I was like, you know what? I need this. Let me go all in and get it, so that when I do build a business, I'll always have it.
Right.
And then you fall in love with it. I mean, then you're just
Yeah,
like,
no, literally. It's
this is
like
amazing.
you realize how essential it is, and it's like it's everywhere when you look at it, like just I always say like marketing and sales, like they overlap so much, and it's like they're just the two most essential skills to business, and it's like that's what
Yeah,
copywriting really helps you with for sure.
that's it, man. Well, that's freaking epic.
Yeah.
Let's show people how to make some money with this
Yeah,
skill. Let's show
absolutely.
people like literally how you did it, because I think that'd be so sick. And I can't stand all these client interviews people do online where it's just like, "Oh, buy my program." I'd rather just give people some value. If they want to, they they can do that later.
Yeah, for
Let's
sure.
let's get into it. So let's start here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna break down his journey from literally complete noob to copy Chad, 4K a month from one client. Literally moved to New York. You can see him cheesing right now, bro. He's in the new apartment,
Feeling
all from
good.
Wi-Fi money, posting the fat wins. Amazing. But it didn't start that way, did it? So you joined in what? When did you join? You joined in like, was it
I want
February?
it might have been, yeah, either
February,
February
March?
or March. Like I can't remember, but yeah.
And you came in, you had a lot of mindset problems. I remember that very clearly. Just mindset around, is this even possible? Is it possible for you? Are you even good enough to do it? Um, and then you quit. So like, tell me, tell us about that.
Yeah. No, it was definitely a low for sure. I like you said, it was all mindset. Like you were giving me everything I could have possibly needed to succeed, but it was all just at the core, it was the my beliefs. I didn't think that I was good enough to make people money. I didn't think that they needed me. I thought that all these other people either like could just write their own copy or had someone else writing their copy for them. And yeah, it just like another thing too for me was like seeing other people win actually would get me worse off because I would see someone who like, oh, they landed a client in like a week or something, and I was like, well, why didn't I land mine yet?
Yeah.
And that it would just all would just circle in your head. So yeah, I quit. I was like, I hopped on the video games for a while. Like it was just like I was just not trying to improve at all. But I guess I can't even, it's so funny because I know we talked about this before, but I can't even pinpoint exactly what it was that got me
Yeah.
back on track. It was just like it was one of those like one day I just woke up and I was like, what the heck am I doing? Like I have this I'm in this awesome program. I have a great mentor who's teaching me all this stuff. Like like I can't just waste this, you know?
Mm.
So one day it was one of those like I was just fed up with everything, came back on track. And sure enough, it was like my mindset just kind of shifted, and I think I landed my first client maybe like a week later. Like it was crazy.
Insane.
It's crazy how that works, but it taught me so quickly how much your mindset matters when you're doing this stuff. Like you can just what you believe will happen, like eventually will, you know,
Yeah.
like you'll keep working until it does.
Oh, it's so powerful, man. I wish people could get it. It's so hard to get it until you feel it. But give me like a snapshot. We talked about some of those beliefs you had that were false. Like people can write their own copy. I'm not good enough to write copy. I can't get a client. To what are they now? Like those beliefs that you had, like what are your beliefs now?
Yeah, I mean, now my belief is just like, how far can I go? It's like at this point, it's like, how much more can I learn? How much better can I get? How much more money can I make? How much more efficient with my time can I be? Like it's all just like optimizing to continue to scale forward. So it's all just completely in the positive. There's no sort of like I can't do this. It's more just like I immediately go into problem solve. I'm like, okay,
Mhm.
if I think this is hard, I know somebody else has probably figured it out, and I'll start researching and start. Um, there's just no time spent now just like dwelling on I can't do this or
Yeah.
and going procrastinating. It's like immediately, oh, this is hard. This is my problem. Let's just figure out how I can do this because it's possible. Everything's
Yeah.
possible. It's just a matter of how much you want to work, you know?
And what would you tell someone who is literally in Minecraft Griff mode, as we call it in the
Yeah, I
Discord? As someone
know.
who's stuck in Minecraft Griff mode, like, and they have those beliefs, like, what would you tell them as someone who literally just came out on the other side of this a couple months ago?
Yeah, I mean, it's it's always so hard. I thought about this a lot. I just would tell them like you have to, I would almost say to get out of this pattern, you need to stop thinking. Like, and you know what? I thought of this. You told me this way back when. It was like you have to learn how to become the general and the soldier. And it was like that has always stuck with me because so many times early on, my entire day or week was disrupted because like I would I'd be like, I know I have to send outreach. I know I have to get better at this. I know I have to watch the course modules. But then like I wouldn't get an outreach reply and then I'd go off the rails. But it's like you need to learn how to just stop thinking about is this going to work? Is this going to whatever? And just be like, here's what everyone else is doing to win, sending outreach, learning how to write the fundamentals of copy. And then you just need to do the action. And then at a certain point, something will start to switch. And I guess pair that with also like writing down your new beliefs every day
Yeah.
and telling yourself like this is going to work. I am going to land a client. I am going to become a good copywriter. I am going to make 10K per month. Like all of those things, it's hard because it doesn't happen overnight. It's
Yeah.
like literally it has to be trained, you know, but it's super important. And yeah, I would just tell them to start the process by not thinking. Just anytime you have that negative thought, don't even try to think positive. Just try to zone in on and just write or just do an action, do something, you know?
Yeah. And that's
Mhm.
it. And I promise we're going to show you guys his outreach messages that's coming. But what you got to understand is that's not what did it. He was
Right.
sending that beforehand, but his mindset changed and then the success came. And that's why we're spending some time on this because I think it's so freaking important. Those of you guys that are struggling to do this stuff and like, wondering, does this even work? Is copywriting worth it? Do people need copywriting? Your mindset is so bad. Like Griff is saying, you just got to turn it off.
Mhm.
You just got to put your faith in what in the videos that you see, the people that you see like Griff, like who literally were just like you 2 months ago, and it worked for them. You don't have any faith of your own right now, most of you, and that's fine. But just put it in someone else to get that first win. Because as soon as you get that first win, everything changes, like Griff said. Then you
Yep.
start thinking about, well, how do I scale to 10K?
That's
How do I
crazy.
help my client get 50? Like everything changes.
Yeah.
But going from 0 to 1 is so much harder than 1 to 100. So it's like getting that first win, you have to do everything. You have to just get scrappy. Like just like a promise to yourself. Like tell your brother you're gonna give him $50 if you don't send 50 outreach. Like just do whatever you can to get that first win. And I don't know. That's my thoughts on that, Griff.
Yeah, no, it's so hard, and it's something I've struggled with so much as someone who I guess like I'm on the other side as like from a noob not making any money to now someone who's making money. Like I remember what it feels like to be on the other side of the screen and be like and like have those false beliefs and not think it was going to work for me. And it's frustrating almost now that like I'm able to be like, oh, look, it works, but I know people are going to watch and they're
Yeah,
not going to. It's just it's tough, but yeah, you can. It really does come down to that at the end of the day. So um,
it's hard, dude.
it's
It's
hard.
hard trying to make people realize how real it is
Yeah.
without them going through it. Because we all started there. Like we all started with this doesn't work. We all started with it doesn't work for me. Like we were all there. And the people that make it are the ones that just fight through. And
Yep.
honestly, it's the pain of where you're at. Like because your pain of your job and like the future outlook was so bad, you're just like, you know what? I've got to do this. Like I'm gonna log off the video games, get back in, and this is why I think having a mentor is important as well. Not even a mentor, even if you guys don't buy anything, just have a community that keeps you accountable because everyone's gonna have a bad day. And that's when you need people to be like, hey, dude, cheer up. Let's go do this, whatever. Let's write some
Right.
outreach together. Let's work on some copy. Like you just need to have a community because that really helps, especially when you're going from that 0 to 1, where you're getting that first online money. Accountability is huge.
Yep.
So huge. Like, yeah, man. Well, I guess let's show them your actual transformation through this.
Yeah. Cool.
Now
Let's
that
do
we've
it.
got the mindset stuff out of the way, even though that is the most important, people probably don't want to hear it the
I
most.
know. Yeah. Right. That's
Um,
it's always the toughest part.
that's how it goes. That's just how it goes. So here we have complete noob. We talked about where Griff was at in the stage, and he just had to come back and fight tooth and nail. I mean, like guys, this is not someone who joined like my program and found copywriting and just crushed. He quit. Like he literally tried and
Yeah,
quit.
man.
Like he's someone who quit. Okay, and now he's making 4K a month from one client. So if that doesn't show you that it's anyone can do this, I mean, I don't know what does. So let's go over your outreach. So first off, how did you find this guy that you're reaching out to?
I think it was YouTube. I was just kind of doing some of the methods that you had taught, just kind of about hacking your algorithm and everything, and just I people were just getting shown to me on my browse page that were selling like courses or info products or just different things like that.
Mhm.
So yeah, I stumbled on his YouTube. I saw he was relatively early on in his journey on starting his coaching program. The content wasn't great. I mean, it was good enough, but I was like, oh, I can see how I can help him improve that.
Mhm.
So I decided to I started watching some of his videos, and then yeah, you can see there in my outreach message. I thought I like found some tweaks I could maybe do in his titles and his hooks, kind of framing his offer in a different way. And I was just like, I'm gonna practice writing some YouTube titles, and then I'm gonna send them over to him, you know?
Yeah. This is massive. Like what you've done here is honestly a masterclass in how to send free value. Those of you guys watching it and you've been around, like follow the channel for a while, you've been sending free value. There's a reason why this stuff doesn't work for a lot of you guys. First off, if you have a broken down car on the side of the road that is rusty and is totaled, and you say free car on the side, no one's gonna pick it up. Like it doesn't matter how free that joker is, no one's gonna get it because it's negative value. Your stuff is not good. And so, first off, if your stuff isn't good, like you're never going to get a client. I mean, you might, but it's going to be lucky and it won't last for long. So you have to get good by like watching these free videos. Why do you think I make these things, guys? Go watch them. Um, but here, Griff just literally sends this guy some edits for his YouTube titles that'll help him. He says, "Hey, yo, Trevor, here's some tweaks I think could help you with views." Then super non-needy. You're crushing it already though. So maybe if it ain't broke, don't fix it. He literally telling him maybe don't use my stuff. Like that is
Yeah.
the most non-needy thing ever. Feel free to use them if you want. So simple. Um, and look at this. Yo, dude, shout out to you for doing outreach the right way, providing massive value first. Love it. Even if he wasn't gonna take him on as a client, like dude just respects the outreach, and that's what you want. That's a sign of you're doing something right. And Griff, what did you think when you said that? Did you think this would become a 4K1 client?
No, not definitely not. I mean, I would honestly say like this point was I when I was my mindset was still pretty messed up, but I was just doing the actions. I was
Yeah.
doing the reps. I was just trying to get back on the horse. But again, like even just this response, I mean, talk about a high, and just like that
Yeah.
first one of my first like real wins. Yeah, it was awesome.
And
Mhm.
that's the first step, guys, is and you should do this as well, whether you're in like a accountability program or what. Like we celebrate the first response because that's the first step. When you get someone to respond that you've checked off the first box, you do something right. And
Right,
that's sometimes all you need to keep pushing. So that was phase one, which was just
right,
initiating contact, but providing some value for free, non-needy, without being a goober. It's not that hard when you think about it, guys, but it's not sexy, Just send somebody something that'll help them. Say, hey, this might help you. And that's that easy.
right.
Not being needy. So phase two, how did you feel after he responded? Like what was going through your head?
Like I mean, kind of like you said, like I was not expecting to work with him or anything, but like you better believe that got me excited to send more outreach. I was like,
Yeah,
oh, like it worked. He liked it. So yeah, I mean, I was ha super happy that I got a response, and I was like, let's see where this goes.
nice. And so walk me through like what you sent him next, like this follow-up message.
Yeah, so and it's actually funny. I think I must have sent him like the message on like a Thursday or a Friday. And then I had some stuff going on the weekend, so I didn't actually follow up with him until like another day or two. Um, but before I like went back into our DMs, I went back to his YouTube channel and I saw that he posted one of the videos titles that I gave him. So,
Nice.
and that was how I knew that he even read my message. Like I hadn't even gone on Instagram and seen it. So I first went to his YouTube, saw that he posted the title, and the video was popping off. Like he was getting maybe a couple hundred views a video, and this one had like a couple thousand in like a day.
Disgusting.
Yo, I was like, what happened there? I
Killer.
was like, maybe this copywriting thing works.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, then I came back to the DMs and you can read that there. I was kind of like, yo, I saw the video did well. And then yeah, we kept things flowing from there.
This is amazing, man. Just literally saying, yo, I appreciate that. Saw us doing well, and then asked him if he wanted more. Like
Right.
once again, and we're drug dealers, man. Just give them a free
Yeah.
taste and they come back. Like, and that's why I had to say that if your stuff is not good, none of this works. Some of you guys are like, why doesn't this work? Once again, you're sending garbage. You're giving away free garbage on the side of the road, If you're giving away a free Lambo, you're gonna have a huge line out the door.
Right.
And so by Griff sending him these and they actually worked, the guy was like, holy crap, this is really valuable. As you can
Right.
see here, just posted another one. Any ideas would be sick. That video already got me 2 clients. He's making him money for free. For free. And then Griff's like got some coming ASAP. And he's gonna give even more bonus value here, which is nuts.
Yep.
Um, and here is the classic response. Why are you doing this for free?
Yeah.
And so tell me like what was going through your head whenever he said that and what you're gonna respond with.
Dude, I had no idea. I remembered I actually I messaged Luca and I was like, oh gosh, like what do I say here? Like that's always the classic, like what do you do? But it was true. Like at the time, like my mindset was like obviously it would be great to work with him, but I was just like again, I was just in that grind mode where I was like,
Yeah.
I was genuinely just I had wrote 10 YouTube titles to practice and I was like, I'm gonna send it to him. So yeah, I mean that it was a very like genuine response. I was like, I'm just practicing, hope it would help you out. And another thing I forgot to mention too is like I actually like I vibed with his content and I liked what he was saying and I did want to genuinely work with him,
Mhm.
which I think a lot of people overlook. Like they'll just start sending spamming outreach to people that they might not vibe with.
Yeah.
And I always think like in a way, it's like work smarter, not harder. Like try to find people who look like you and who do the same things as you because it might be easier for them to like just click on your profile and be like, oh, he looks like me. We could be friends. Like maybe now if your copy's good, we could work together. So anyway, that's a little side tangent of advice right
No,
there.
man, but that's solid. It's like what we teach a lot about familiarity bias. Like people love people who are like them.
Right,
And so if you make your profile just look like a chill dude who does online business, then you're gonna attract chill dudes who do online business
right,
and
right.
get clients. And I love the message, but I know we don't do this anymore. We go a lot more direct to get money coming in. But
Right.
this shows the power of non-neediness, you know? Hey,
Mhm.
just practicing. Thoughts can help you out a bit. And then, so what was his voice messages? What were your thoughts
So
behind that?
this was when things got crazy. So then he sent me the voice message and he was like, "Yo, like that's awesome. I really really appreciate people that do that." And now that I'm on the other side of it, I see like some of the DMs that he gets, and it's just crazy. Like people don't even understand how bad the competition is out there.
So
You know,
bad.
it's crazy, and it's like it now it makes sense seeing it from the other side, like why what you teach and what we did like sticks out. It's like,
Mhm.
so that's kind of his message. He was like, yeah, like you're the only person who actually wrote me something like before you sent the message to me. Um, and then he basically pitched me right there. He was kind of like, "Yo, I've actually been looking for like a business partner to help me grow my coaching offer." And he's like, "You don't even need to be like the most experienced guy in the world." He's like, "I don't even care if you're a beginner," but he's like, "The fact that it shows you're willing to work and give free value up front." He's like, "That's just the person I want to work with." So yeah, he literally sent me a voice message. He's like, "I'm starting this new coaching program. I need help with content. I'd love to if you're interested, like I'd love to send you another in-depth video about it and see where things go from there."
Let's
So,
go, man.
yeah, you already know that voice message. I was feeling
Oh,
crazy. I was
yeah.
quite the day.
That's probably like the pivotal moment in your journey, honestly, is one voice memo
Yep.
after a high value outreach. Like, and that's what people don't get, man. As a business owner who has 8 or 9 people on my payroll, like, I don't hire for skill. I really don't. I don't know if I've ever hired for skill.
Right.
It's the people. Like, if I know their character and the things that they do, that's who I hire for because I can teach them anything. And that's what a lot of these guys, if you guys are watching this and you're not that good at copywriting, this ought to be motivation. He literally told Griff, you don't have to be that good.
Yeah, literally.
I like that you led with value first and you seem chill. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
this is making you a ton of money. Obviously, you have to be good to actually make money down the line, of course. But when it comes to outreach, guys, get rid of that belief that you have to be the perfect. You don't have to be perfect, but you have to lead with value first. Try to give something useful and just be non-needy. And so here we
Yep.
have sent you a vid, of course, and then you told him you have another batch of YouTube stuff coming, keeping that
Yep.
value
Just
tab going.
yep.
Shot him some more. He's like,
Yep.
fire. And then immediately the call. So tell me how you felt when you got that message.
Yeah. I mean, just I think I like post when I posted in the wins chat, I was just like, it was genuinely the best feeling I had ever like had in a while, just because it in that instant, it was like my brain 180. Every single false belief I had ever had about copywriting just went out the door. Um,
Yeah, man.
and it was just like the best feeling in the world, just knowing that this is real. And I was like, I don't even care if I make $100. It's just like the fact that I'm now going to work with somebody and actually write copy and just it was awesome. It was such an awesome day.
Yeah, man. That's those first messages. I remember getting mine, my first ever client, just like freaking out.
Yeah.
And I remember like I was smiling, walking around this track with my wife for like 2 hours, just
Yep.
cheesing. Um, it's the best feeling ever because it does prove it. And this is not school. This is not work. Like this would have not happened had you not found this dude, sent him a message, give him value, and now you're about to make money. Like
Right.
when you do it yourself, when you were 100% responsible for just making something happen, it hits different than anything you've ever gotten. Like any money
Crazy.
from a job, any of that garbage. Like when you just figure it out, like you're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
this means the world, man. The
It
world."
is. It's crazy. Like you said, I mean, like, yeah, I always had such an interesting relationship with school just because it was like I was always doing things that I didn't care about and didn't want to
Yeah.
do. And it was like, yeah, if I got a good grade on a test, it was cool, but it was like I didn't care about the test. Like I didn't care about what I was learning. And it's like when you start to latch on to something that you're creating your own goals, and then like you said, you start finding your own success with that, like it just unlocks a new level of excitement, confidence. It's unbelievable. And
Bro,
it's
it's
in a way, it's like it's a drug. It's like I can see how
yeah.
people like you get pulled into this, and it's exciting. There's nothing better than building things that you're passionate about. So it's super fun.
Dude, life becomes a game. Life becomes
Does.
Minecraft again.
Yep.
You literally feel like you were 8 years old again. Like
Yep.
that same feeling you had walking around with like your siblings or cousins, picking up sticks and like throwing them or turning them into swords. Like you just feel that immediately again.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, but now you're on the online. Now you're messing around with online stuff and like psychology. Like it's still a game, man. You go back to being a kid and life gets bright.
Yeah.
It's kind of deep, but I mean, it's true.
It
It's
is
freaking
true.
true, man. So yeah, I hopped on a call with him and obviously got that Calendly.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. And tell me about like the call. So obviously you'd probably never taken a sales call before this, right?
Right. Um,
So how did that go?
yeah, no, I mean it was good. I had done like job interviews for like my college, like uh my job out of college and everything. But um I was definitely nervous. I didn't know exactly what he was gonna ask. But I think something else too that like I could kind of tell in his voice messages, like again, because he just appreciated the free value, like I kind of knew his mind was almost made up. I was like,
Yeah.
he was like he found someone who gave him the free value and he was kind of like, I just want to hop on a call, see if he's a real guy. And then from so yeah, I mean it was a pretty easy call. It was more him explaining the what he wanted to do and the vision for his coaching program and everything. And yeah, we kind of just went back and forth a little bit about what I thought we could do, how I could help him. And yeah, just like that, it was honestly pretty easy. It wasn't really hard. It was just like we vibed and just like that, first client wrapped up in the
In the
books.
bag, man.
And then
Oh
yeah,
man.
life's been crazy ever since.
And that's what I try to tell people, but they don't seem to realize it. A sales call is not a sales call. Like
Right.
if you're doing when you're doing outreach this way, it's not like you're just getting a random call from like a random like cold email,
Right.
no value outreach. Like where these people don't know you, they don't even want to be on there really. Like these people already love you. They appreciate you for the reciprocity of what you gave them. They already see your profile. Like it's just really just a formality. It's like, hey,
This,
is this
yep.
person real? Is he cool? Um, and the only advice I tell people is like, just don't screw it up. Like you've already
Right.
done all the
No,
hard work.
it's hard, but yeah, just be a normal guy, like make
Yeah,
some jokes. And like you'll be so surprised how far that gets you. You know,
yeah,
it's crazy. You don't need a template, you don't need a sales script, you don't need like I mean, it's good to understand the fundamentals on what to
yeah.
say or whatever, but at the end of the day, it's like people like working with people, not templates or whatever. So,
Scripts and yeah, it's just it can really be summed up. If anybody wondering how to take a sales call, it's just be chill, ask them questions, figure
yep.
out what their problem is, and tell them you can solve it and kind of show proof. And
Yep.
if you don't like Griff didn't have any prior proof to this. That's why free value is so important. He already sent it on the front end. He basically said, "Hey man, yeah, I would love to help with you too, and I think we could really do some good work."
Right.
That's it. I mean, you don't have to become Hormozy on these calls, man.
Right.
It's and now like fast forward 4K in 1 month from this one client and moved to New York City. Like
Yeah.
what happened between phase three and 4K a month? Like you land this client, what have you been
Yeah.
doing in the shadows, man?
Just work, man. Like I mean, like we were talking about earlier, it's like I kind of disappeared from like the program a little bit because I was like, I have now I you had taught me everything I needed to know for the moment. And it was like, let's get to work. Let's put our head down.
Grind.
Let's grind. So yeah, the last few months have just been a lot of copy, a lot of just iterating on niche offer, like the just the most important things. Watching back some of the sales calls that he takes, and then learning more about our target avatar and how I can market to them in a better way, revamping the program. I mean, it's just it's crazy once you start working with someone, how many things in addition to copy that you can start really worrying
Yeah.
about and trying to help with, you know? So yeah, it's been busy. But yeah, it's been so much fun. It's been so much fun. And I always think too, like, I mean, yeah, the making money has been great. And being able to move now in with a bunch of my buddies in New York has been awesome. But like that's not even the best part. Like the best part is when um like I'll literally remember this one moment. I would literally think this is the so far the peak of my copywriting career.
Yeah.
Was when I was watching back a sales call from our client or from one of the students that had joined our program. And like the first 10 minutes of the sales call, he was basically just talking about how what he saw in like the videos that I wrote resonated with him so much. And like he basically hopped on the call and was like, I don't care how much the program is. He's like, what you said in that video sold me. And he's like,
Wow.
you are the person that I want to learn from. And like this was obviously towards my client because he
Yeah.
was taking the sales call. But when I watched it back,
Oh man.
that was just the craziest feeling. I was like, all of these hours and time I've spent learning copywriting and learning how to persuade and understanding human psychology, like it was just so cool and rewarding to be like I hit all those little pain points in a minute. Like
Yes.
it was awesome. It was really fun.
Man, that is wild, bro. That is so freaking sick. That makes
Yeah.
me happier than a Jolly Rancher. Um, but so just to kind of like recap, I mean, you know, talk about the contrast of where you were 6 months ago and the daily life then versus now. Like, what did the day look like and how did you feel versus what does the day look like now and how do you feel?
Yeah. I would think the easiest way to sum it up is 6 months ago, the last thing I wanted to do in my day was work and learn
Mhm.
copy. And all I wanted to do was figure out how I could find some hack and just get good at it quickly, start making money, and just like get to the level of success or whatever. And now today, it's like you have to pull me away from my laptop. It's like all I want to do now is come in here and get better and work and continue to build up coaching programs and who knows, maybe get another client someday. And it's just like you said earlier, it becomes a game. And it's like it's just
Yeah.
crazy that um I know like I'm sure so many people watching this are they're gaming and they're loving it. And it's like it's fun, but at a certain point it sucks, but you gotta let it go if you're trying to do something else. And it's like that was the hardest part for me. I literally threw out my Xbox. Like at
Yeah.
the end of that whatever month or two where I was like playing Minecraft, doing other games, that when I said I had that switch in me, I was like, am I gonna actually go out and try to get the life I want, or am I gonna keep coming back to the video games? And it's
Yeah.
like I kind of realized I was like, listen, I mean, who knows? Maybe in a few months I can play for an hour, but it's not even as fun as it used to be because I know
No,
this new game that is real life and it's 10 times more fun. So that's I would say that's kind of my biggest switch. It's like the hardest part is going from 0 to 1, but after that, it just becomes fun. And it's like once you start finding enough success to whatever, like move out of your parents' place or buy groceries and like not worry about that,
yeah,
then you can just sink your teeth into this and just it becomes so fun.
that's it, man. It's
Yeah.
if people only realize how fun the game of real life is,
Yep.
it would change everything. And so just the fact that I had a small part to play in you finding that is like makes my world, bro. So I really appreciate you sharing that with all of us.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
because it's huge and video games and school and all this stuff has ruined our generation
Yep.
because we no longer fall in love with learning. We hate learning actually due
Right.
to school. And we think games are better than real life. But games are just modeled on real life. And when you start playing this game, man, the rewards
It's
are insane. Yes,
something.
it's harder. It's more of a challenge, but that makes it even more fun. And then the rewards are just astronomical.
Yep.
Um, yeah, being able to save people and help people like in real life, that's way better than a game.
Yeah,
uh,
seriously.
so amazing. Well, Griff, man, I appreciate you 10,000% for coming on and just sharing your story because I know it's going to inspire a lot of people. And any like last words of wisdom to the people who are in young Griff's situation? Like kind of what
Oh
you
yeah.
tell them, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, obviously we talked enough about it, but the mindset is the most important part. But I would also just say, like, if anyone's just like looking into copywriting, or if you're at the very beginning of this journey, um, just understand how quickly everything can change if you just commit to it and sink your teeth into it for like a month. Like
Yeah.
it's not that long. Like I went to college for 4 years, and it's like when you compare the time frame of things, like everyone's like, oh, I want to get to 10K in a few months, but and it's like, I don't know, that can kind of ruin your mindset. But it's
Right.
like I would just think just stick with copywriting. Like it is
Mhm.
such a good business model, and it's like it's just a fundamental skill that you can like use in every aspect of your life. And it's like just don't think about if it's going to work or not for like 30 days and just commit to learning it. And like you'll be so surprised what you learn and how some of the wins that will pretty much guarantee that I guarantee they will come if you just sink into it and learn it. So yeah, that's my advice. It's just like do it. If you're on the fence, learn it, join a program, like just any way you can, find a mentor, like
Yeah, just do whatever.
just do whatever it takes to get into this world, because once you get to step one, like steps two through a million are just the most fun things in the world. It's awesome. So
Oh,
yeah.
heck yeah, Griff, man. I appreciate you so much. And hopefully you guys watching this have been inspired by his journey. And I can guarantee you this is just the start for Mr. Griff. And we'll have to bring him back on 6 months from now and see the transformation, what he's doing.
Yeah,
And
we'll see.
maybe a whole different view, maybe like even higher up in the New York
Yeah,
page. We'll see.
I don't know. We'll see. It's
We'll
expensive.
see. Yeah, man. No joke. No joke.
Expensive
But
city.
all right, Griff. Talk to you later, bro.
Catch
Appreciate
you
you joining
later.
us.